Happy Saturday. I pray and hope that y'all are doing okay. Listen, I wanted to come up here real quick and I wanted to encourage you that when you have done all that you know how to do, there's going to be times that you're going to have to take your hands off of something and let it be. You're going to have to take your hands off of it. It may hurt. It may not feel good. But you're going to have to do it. Case in point. Transparent moment. My daughter, we've always had a different type of relationship than what me and my son had. And I always found myself trying to find ways to show her that I love her. And it's always been a struggle with her. Khalil made it so easy. But it's just always been something with me and my daughter. And I have given and given and given and given and given. And I'm not going to say I was the perfect mother because, in the beginning, I didn't know a lot about it because I didn't have that mother to teach me stuff. But as time went on, I know that I gave what I could. And it's always like she had this animosity towards me. And I don't know why. No matter what I did for her, it was always some type of animosity. And I remember being married to her father. We didn't have a car, so I would walk. I would get a buggy. And I would have her and her brother in. And I would go to the grocery store to make sure they had. And I always found a place to live to make sure they went to good schools. And it's like it was never enough. And so as getting older, it's always like she wanted to turn people against me. And, in her relationships, she would introduce and we would like them. And it's like once they start liking us, it's like she would do something or she would say things about us that would turn her friends and whoever she was with against us. So the one she's with now, he was cool with Khalil. And when I met him, wonderful young man, great young man. And he is the first person that we have ever allowed in her room. And after a while, it was like it was getting repetitive. And, we had to tell her, our sanctuary is up there. And you can't, have him in your room like that. And so trying to keep the peace and trying, all of that other stuff, we pretty much went against God. So it got to a point I said, you know what, no more. She can get mad, she can get upset, I don't care. But he's not sleeping in her room anymore. And so then that's when she got an apartment. And I'm proud of her. I am. I wish she would have listened to me and got a cheaper one, but nevertheless, she got an apartment. And so it's this thing that she have with her ex, that she don't like it, that me and my husband are still cool with her ex. And even though when they was together, I kept telling her to leave him alone, to leave him alone, to leave him alone, to leave him alone. He was cheating on her. He gave her some diseases or whatever. But through all of that, she stayed with him. So my thing was, if you stayed with him, okay, then cool. And so they finally broke up. After 5 years, they broke up. And for whatever reason, I just never was mean to him. And it's like every time she got with someone, she always wanted us to be mean to her ex. And we just wouldn't do it. So right before Mother's Day, now she had asked me for him to get her oil changed, because that's what he does. So he came and changed my oil like he usually do. And remind you, this is a young man we don't talk to every day. He doesn't be around. We don't see him all the time. It's just when we call him, he's there. So she was on the phone with me on the speakerphone. So I guess, the new boyfriend was there. And so he was here, and she must have heard him, and she hung up the phone. So basically, make a long story short, she called me back and was like, why do y'all still deal with him? He hasn't been my boyfriend. He's not Khalil. He'll never be Khalil. And like I told her, I'm not trying to make him Khalil. I'm not going to be mean to somebody just because you're not dealing with them. And that's the gist of the thing. So make a long story short, she went 3 weeks without talking to me. And last week, she kind of, start calling and talking and laughing or whatever. And so I went over there the other day to, so she could do my nails. And I could still feel I could still feel the distance. So she started sharing with me some of the stuff that has happened. And so this guy that she's with, she let it be known that he broke her TV. He threw her TV down. He broke her phone, which when she was asking me for the one she called Daddy, his number, because she said her phone was messed up, I knew then that God had already showed me that he had broke her phone. So she just confirmed it when I went over there the other day. He broke her TV. He broke her phone. He kept picking up her nail desk, and he smashed it, and he broke that because I noticed when I went over there, it was a new desk. So she told me all of this. And I asked her, I said, well, were you scared? She was like, no. And I told her, I said, she was on the phone with one of her friends, and they called the police, and the two police, one knew her, one knew him, so nobody went to jail or whatever. So this morning when I woke up, before I went into prayer, he was on my mind, her boyfriend. And God had told me to speak to him. So when I called her, I asked her, to speak to him. And he wouldn't come to the phone. And she tried to play it off. And I was like, what, he don't want to talk to me? And she was like, no, he don't want to come to the phone. I said, but why? I haven't done anything to him. So while she was in the apartment, it was like she was talking nice. But then when she got in the truck with him, well, you got to understand the disrespect and all this and, all that. I said, I have not disrespected him. She said, well, yes, you did, because you said he don't have to talk to you. He don't have to come over. I said, no. When I said, tell him, I said, hey, and he didn't say anything, that's when I told him or told you that he don't have to talk to me or whatever. No, you didn't. No, I said, yes, I did. Well, it's like with Jay, and it's just disrespectful. And, if his mama told me, that I don't have to talk to her and I don't have to come over, I'll take that, I'll just chalk it up to the game. I said, but that's not what happened. Well, we wasn't talking for 3 weeks and it was your fault. I said, no, it was not my fault. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And you just disrespected him. I said, well, I tell you what, this what we'll do. And before I could even finish, she hung up in my face. And so, y'all, this is the thing. And my husband came down and, cause he was concerned about me, but this is my thing. The beginning of the month, I have given her over $500 for her rent. And then I cashed out her another like 100 and something. And she was going to give her truck back. And I ended up giving her money for that. So in all, I've probably already given her over $1,000. I went without paying my taxes, my property taxes, just to make sure she kept her apartment and her truck. And she hangs up in my face. And she's treating me like this. I'm just going to say it, over a nigga. And it's always been that way. Even her last relationship, when she was dating a girl, she will always defend who she's with when it comes to me. No matter what it is. They can mistreat me. They can try to talk to me all kinds of ways. And for whatever reason, she will always take their side. It's like the people that I've loved the hardest are the ones that have done me the worst. I have not talked to my sister since January. She didn't even check on me after I had my surgery. I haven't talked to my nephews, the very ones that will call me and they could get anything out of me and from me. My sister that stayed here with her kids and their friends. And I'm not trying to paint this picture that, oh, I'm so good at this. It's just the people that I've done the most for. Are the people that have hurt me so bad. And y'all, listen, I ain't no punk. I'm not weak. So don't misunderstand that. Because I know that God is teaching me to let go. He's teaching me to let go. And a lot of times what I found out, thank you, Tammy, that a lot of times we will get in God's way when he's trying to do something. We'll get in God's way. And I've known for a long time that God has got to get her attention. I'm just kind of scared of what it's going to take to get her attention. My sister, you've been with a man going on probably almost 18 years that you're not married to, that you're shacking up with. And because I've tried to tell you, you can't straddle the fence. You got to be all the way in or all the way out. And it doesn't matter about good deeds. But you can't be an evangelist and shack it. And she got mad at me and stopped talking to me. And I told God, whatever he wants me to do, I'll do it. And that means if my family stop talking to me, if the very ones that I've been there for stop talking to me, then so be it. Because for God I live and for God I'll die. And where he's about to take me, I can't have distractions. And everybody can't go with me. And I want y'all to understand something. Before I can help you get over something, before I can help you get a breakthrough, before I can help you, I have to go through it first. And trust and believe. Tammy, I have peace with it. I do. This is just a purging and a pruning that I have to go through. Because I am about to walk. Well, I'm already walking in the apostolic. Yeah. It is, Tammy. I am. Like I said, this don't confuse this for me being weak. No, I'm just being transparent. Is that I just hate to see what God is going to have to do to get their attention. Because when I tell you my sister has so much in her, till it's ridiculous. When I tell you my daughter has so much in her, can sing, can write songs, is creative, can teach herself stuff to do that people have to go to school for 4 years. Both of them are gifted and talented. And the enemy just wants to destroy them. And the thing about it, they know this. They know this. And if I just would have had someone like me when I was younger, I wouldn't have wasted so much time. I wouldn't now just be 52, about to be 53, walking in my calling. If I would have had someone like me to encourage me, to talk to me, to tell me these things, to minister to me. I didn't have that. I didn't have that. And it's just so mind-boggling to know that they know the word. They've experienced God. They've tasted and saw that the Lord was good. And yet they choose to go the other way. True. And I have, Tammy, I promise you, I have. I was in class last night, and the instructor, Chief Apostle, was talking to us, and she said, the journey that we're about to go on, we have to be whole, because we can't function and we can't maneuver in the fullness of what God has for us if we still have stuff. And so when I was in prayer, I told God, reveal my heart to me and show me what it is that I need to do. Because I want to walk in the fullness. Every gift, every spiritual gift, everything that he has invested in me, I want to use it. I want it to flourish. I want it to be at full operating capacity. And so if that means whoever got to be gone, then so be it. I don't have a problem with that. I don't. And I've always said that. That's why a lot of times when I see people so torn up about their families and they're so torn up with, it doesn't affect me, because I guess the close knit and the closeness, I never had it anyway. So, and I guess maybe that's God's way of protecting me. Not saying that I don't have some good memories and I don't have some good times that me and my family had. But that closeness, that close-knittedness that would just destroy me, I don't have that. I don't have that issue. I guess my thing is, for anyone that listens to this video, Tammy, this is my thing. It's the people that you will walk through hell for, with gasoline draws, and fight for them, are the very ones that will see you on fire and won't pour water on you. That is the thing that's like, wow, to me. The very ones that you have bent over backwards, have fought for, have gone through for, have been in the trenches, are the same ones that will shoot and stab you and don't have a care in the world. It's mind-boggling to me. And I know what's on the other side, because I know what Joseph went through. I know what's on the other side. But it's like I said, it's mind-boggling. It is. But I just wanted to come up here because I have to be the first partaker. I wanted to come up here and encourage anyone that may be dealing with a child or sibling, family members. Listen. When Jesus was teaching in the synagogue, And one of the men came to him and said, your mother and your brothers are outside. And Jesus said, who is my mother and my brothers? The ones that have the same faith that you, the ones that serve the same God as you, the one that's walking this path like you, the one that's living the best way they know how like you, the ones that's getting up and defeating and talking to the enemy, putting a word to the enemy. Those are your brothers. Those are your sisters. Those are your mothers. The children, the spiritual children that take the time to come see you. Those are your children. Blood don't make you family. The blood makes you family. And I just want to encourage someone. When you're hurting, when things look like it's falling apart, they're really falling into place. Help me, Holy Spirit. When things seem like they're going wrong, God is making it right. So I just wanted to be transparent because, you know, a lot of us are going through stuff and we don't want to talk about it. And that is the reason that I made this private group. Some place that you can come and vent. Some place that you can release that stuff. Some place that there's no judgment. There's none of that. That you can just come up here and be you. That's why Just Being V was created. Because we all need that safe space. We all need that place that we can vent, that we can draw strength from. So, y'all continue to pray for me as I pray for you. And I want you to enjoy this weekend. I'm going to enjoy the stuff that I have planned for my husband, and allow God to continue to purge and prune me and remove me out of situations and relationships that I have no business in. So that being said, I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Bye.